Berikutnya kita akan mendengarkan presentasi dari Bapak Fashridjal dari belanja.com. Beliau adalah Head of Marketing dari belanja.com. Kami persilakan untuk Pak Faiz untuk memberikan presentasinya. Berikan applause untuk Pak Faiz.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm very proud of where the e-commerce industry in Indonesia is nowadays, and I'm very excited for the future. My name is Faiz. I am currently the head of marketing at belanja.com. I've only been the head of marketing at belanja.com for the past 2 months. So what is currently on belanja.com is more of the work of the previous marketing manager and marketing head, and I have a lot in store for next year on Belanja. So we have a really exciting 2017 coming forward. Okay, I'd like to explain a bit about Belanja. So I know that not all of you here are from Indonesia. So Belanja is a joint venture between Telkom Indonesia, it's a national telecommunications company, and eBay Global. So we are a joint venture of two quite big players in the industry and in Indonesia. We were officially launched in December of 2014. We're quite new. Our mobile app just launched September 2016, and we're about to launch our our Apple app. So, I was asked to talk about marketing growth strategies, and my first question for all of us is, how do you define growth? Do you see growth as being traffic? Do you see growth as being your GMV? Do you see growth as being investment? Do you see growth as being having the best advertising, the highest spending on TV? What is your definition of growth? So I backtracked a bit and I looked on the history of the industry. So I'm not the oldest person in the industry, but I talked to a lot of people, and the early assumption at the beginnings of the e-commerce industry in Indonesia was that growth equals traffic, because at the time people were not getting a lot of sales and a lot of GMV, so as much as possible you wanted to gain traffic. But the reality is, I'm sure everyone here that's in marketing or digital marketing, you know that it's very easy to have very good traffic numbers, because one, traffic can be bought, and two, not all traffic converts to sale. So any digital marketer at the time, all you had to do was spend a little more on not really converting, but high traffic gaining avenues, and you would have your traffic numbers, but not necessarily sales. And a later assumption was that growth equals GMV or gross GMV. So as we know, we have to understand that we are not yet China, we are not yet the US, we are not yet Korea. The Indonesian e-commerce industry is still in its infant stage. Besides all the hoopla, everyone's talking about how it's an exciting industry, it's growing very fast, it is still in its infancy stage. So what happened was that people would start to try to grow GMV. But once again, it's very easy for you to make the numbers look good. When you try to raise your GMV, it's very easy. Anyone in marketing knows that when you want to raise your GMV, put some discounts on your liquid items, on your handphones, golds, handphone vouchers, Pulsa, and so on and so forth, and automatically your GMV will rise up. Does that mean that you're really sustaining a good business? Not at all. Why? Because we have to realize that this industry is very in its infant stage, so a lot of the people buying on our sites are still traders and people that are buying to sell on other sites or offline. A recent assumption is that growth equals investment. So I think around 2015, 2016, early 2014, there was a lot a lot of investment going into Indonesia. So we had a lot of news about certain companies getting hundreds of millions of dollars, and it was really big, and everyone's saying that okay, now the industry is going to boom. But once again, the market is still in its infancy. So when you spend a lot of money on a market that is not yet developed, for example, in Korea or in China, all of their investments, all of their marketing, and all their buyers are normally real buyers. In Indonesia, we still have a high amount of traders. We still have a high amount, of the other side of the business. So we have to realize that it's not really kicked in. I mean, the industry in 2016 has just kicked in. So I feel that nowadays investors are also getting the picture. That's why we don't see as much huge investment into the industry. That's why as people in the industry, we need to make sure that our core fundamentals are there. We have real buyers and we're really selling things on the market. Okay, so my first tip would be to avoid the race for achieving numbers. But you need to build a solid business based on key fundamentals. Like Chu was saying before, they're focusing more on making sure that their customer experience is good. They're making sure that they have the right products, the right experience. They're spending the right amount of money. They're making sure that they're effective on all of their digital marketing channels, that their cost per click and so on and so forth are all being controlled well. This is the real business that we need to grow forward in the future. Okay, my second tip would be to make growth hacking a company discipline. So I think it's an overly said term when you talk about growth hacking, but it's very important to make it, I was going to say make growth hacking a religion, but unfortunately, for some reason in Indonesia, everyone knows about tomorrow being kind of a scary day. Religion lately has been a sensitive issue. So I'm going to avoid that. So it's a company discipline. When I got in charge of marketing, the first thing I told my team was that you have to understand that God is in the data. You need to know your data. Even if you're a designer that only works on posters, making things look good, at Belanja you have to know what is your click-through rate, how are you doing, what is the, our marketing team has to get back to the designers. Hey designers, sorry, this poster is not working, you need to change it. This works better, this works better, this works better. And as an organization, you will see that your organization will grow fast because people will care about the data. I'm very happy to see, for example, even like my designers, designers are really right-brained people, and they don't care about data. They don't even know how to use Excel normally. But now at Belanja, we really want to make sure that everyone cares about the data and they understand how things are working and how everything we do affects the next process. Okay, so it's very easy when you start with a small group of founders, because I know that not everyone here comes from a big organization, a big marketplace, a big logistics company. I'm sure many of the people here are startups. I hope to have a startup someday, so kudos for you guys. And I think it's easy when you start up with a small group of founders coordinating. But then the company grows, and people start to divide into groups. At first you had 4 people, best friends, one guy's a tech guy, one guy's a marketing guy, hey we should do this, we should do that, and everyone's all happy. Then when you get more people, for example at Belanja, we started out with 13 people and now we have about 200 people in our organization, so it's growing very fast. Eventually divisions are made and walls start to form. So the key, I think, for a lot of the more developed, the bigger companies nowadays, is to reinstate this kind of startup feel. Hello? Okay. So the key nowadays for the bigger companies that have grown fast is you need to be able to keep up your communication, to make sure that everyone cares about the numbers, everyone cares about the way the company is going, because once you have that kind of culture in your company, magical things will happen. So basically, growth hacking is a constant team effort. There is no, there's no process, step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every organization will have a different way of doing it. It's a mindset, it's a religion. Okay, I finally said it, it's a religion. Okay, you have to make sure that everyone cares about it, because even, for example, your trust and safety people, the people that check your orders, they have to understand to make it easy for the customers to understand, easy for the other departments also to understand. So at Belanja, we are focusing on aligning everything with the customer in mind. I mean, Jack Ma said it perfectly. Customer first, employee second, stakeholder last. Although we are a government-owned company, a lot of people say that Belanja must be full of old guys. I'm 34, and I'm one of the oldest people in the company. So it's not true. We're trying to make everything in line. So all of our campaigns, from digital marketing to our product team, to our CM, to our PR, to our partnership, we try to make sure that everything is tied in together, because we believe that this is the real business that's going to keep e-commerce going forward. Okay, tip number 4, and I'm almost done here, is that it's a marathon game. So, as I said before, if you're just entering the industry now, it's not too late. I see so many companies from outside of Indonesia just entering Indonesia now. I see the companies from Singapore and others. It's not too late. It's a very good time to enter this industry. This industry is in its infancy stage, and we have so much more ahead of us. So welcome, guys. And for anyone that is in the industry, don't worry. We're going to get through this, and we're going to really, really explode in the future. Okay, so once again, just like Chul was saying before, just like JDID, we are not the biggest spenders. We don't have all these billboards, we don't have so many TV commercials. Right now, our focus is on building the fundamentals, making sure that we have the right product, making sure that we have the right assortment, making sure that we have the right technologies. Now, does that mean that we will never spend on ATL? Does that mean that we'll never spend on BTL? On massive ATL? No. You will see, as I said before, Belanja.com has many different things in store for us in the future. So hopefully 2017 will be very different, because so far we have been focusing on our fundamentals. But eventually we will go forward, because we're growing a business based on a clear umbrella strategy. Okay, lastly, is my personal firm belief that e-commerce will speed up Indonesia to the next level. I see that China has gone forward, India has gone forward, and next Indonesia will go forward. And I believe that, I think there's about 100 people in here, and all of you will be part of this huge transformation in the future of Indonesia. I think that's all from me. Thank you. See you in 2017.
Oke, berikan aplaus untuk Mas Faiz dari belanja.com.